Hey, y'all, and welcome to day 12 of the WSOP and to the fourth annual WSOP and all the Vegas Poker Daily Spaces coverage. I'm Sherry Pliscota, aka the White Oprah of the poker community. And we'll get into that in a little while because that's a new one for me as well. Please be reminded that we will always try to give the most updated and accurate information possible, but we are human and the information is always fluid in the poker world. So please make sure to double check any information we provide to ensure yourself the best experience possible. And please, if we have said something incorrect, please correct us. We want the right information to be disseminated for sure. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sherry Pliscota 9212, where you can find the recordings of my past spaces and interviews. It is free to subscribe, and all the daily spaces are up there through day 9, so you can catch up if you need to. Many thanks to the Bellagio and Sean McCormick and Craig Larson for hosting the 7th official Spaces meetup game at the Bellagio, 2 p.m. on June the 26th. It's a cash game. Pizza will be provided by our fine hosts, and we have lots of Splash the Pot items, and of course, always willing to accept some more items if you'd like to make a donation. The Quill for Charity fundraiser is ongoing. Please consider making a tax-deductible donation via the designated link to the Poker Gives Charity Feed the Homeless program. It's called Street Hearts. A $10 donation gets you 1 ticket. A $25 donation will get you 5 tickets. Don't miss your chance to win this one-of-a-kind autographed poker t-shirt quilt. Hey, ASG, how are you?
All right. If you're giving away any new car, you get a car, just let me know.
Well, here's my motive. Here's here's what I'm going to say instead. You get a chip, you get a chip, you get a chip, you get a chip. That's hilarious. Too funny. Hey, Joey.
Hello, Sherry. How are you?
Good. How are you, bud?
Oh, it's been a magical journey. So as you know, last year I started Joey's Angels, which is a woman's intuitive poker school.
Right.
And Tracy, who I see just joined us, last year she had 14 cashes, and I'm proud to say, in 10 days she's already had 4 cashes as of yesterday.
Atta
Yes.
girl, Tracy.
And we did the most amazing. After she cashed last night, she joined me. She could have went home to go to sleep because she has to play the 1500 today. But she came over and joined Colette and I at the rail, watching one of my coaches, Jeff Madsen, win his 3rd bracelet. Oh
Oh,
my God, the energy! It was so amazing. We're holding
I thought it
posters. And
was, isn't it his 5th bracelet?
is it? It might be his 5th. I don't know. I only know of, well, you know why? Because I hired him as a PLO coach, and I know of 2, So yeah, if it's his 5th bracelet, oh my God. I know he
Oh,
was player of the year. Yeah, I'll look it up.
for
But
some
yeah,
reason, I
holy.
think it's his 5th, but I could be wrong. But how amazing. I met him for the first time at Stout's charity series of poker event that you and I were there together with Colette and Melanie Melanie and a few other folks, right? And Jeff was sitting 2 spaces to or seats to my right, and so he was part of a fun table. I had Tyler Patterson at my table, like we had a fun table. Tyler from Poker News, it was amazing, and so I was very happy to see that he won another bracelet. So congrats to him.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so magical. And you are absolutely right. It's his 5th bracelet. Oh my God. Can't keep track anymore. This is
It's
insane.
okay. No. Let me tell you, that's why we're in this together, right? To help each
Right.
other. So
And then we walked over and we watched Kristen, one of my other coaches, bag in the 25K. So how cool was that?
very
Mhm.
cool. And I'm excited that she is at the, near the top of chip stack sizes for that. We'll get into that a little later, but a real shot at a bracelet for sure. Real shot at another bracelet. And kudos to her. Love it. Wish I was there in the rail too. Hey Tracy, how are you? Congrats on that 4th cash.
Good morning. Okay, yes, it is Jeff's fifth for sure.
Oh, thank you.
And correction, I cashed 16 out of 24 last summer. So,
Nice.
and I am going to find a bag today in the 1500.
That a girl.
Yeah.
Love it. What events have you cashed so far this summer?
I took a third at the Orleans in their nightly. I took a ninth at South Point and their 20K guarantee. And then back to back nights in the nightly, running pretty deep on the first one. I think it was like 34th or 30, yeah, some 37th or 34th. And then last night was 98 out of 876.
Nice. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. Thanks for sharing that with
This
us
is the
for
one that
sure.
counts, though. This is the one that matters. We need to take a third in this one.
I'm predicting a first. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's
Come
go all the
on.
way. All right.
We're going all the way.
Okay. Let's go.
That's all I've got to say on that matter. We in it to win it.
That's right. Let's go.
So come on.
Okay.
ASG, did you watch the Jamie's WPT rival game last night?
Jamie's.
Well, I call it that's because that's kind of it was her brainchild. So I call it that so people will that's what we introduced it as here in the spaces.
Oh, okay. Oh, Kirsten. Yeah, she was on the commentary with Doug. Yes, I watched.
Okay, so just for those, just to kind of update everybody, WPT is doing a live feed at the Palms. Tonight will be the third night, and it's what they're calling like a rival gang. And back in early May, Jamie Kurtzetter put out a tweet that they were casting 6 players for a new show. Well, this is the new show. And it started June 4th, 5th, and tonight's the last night. So just to give a quick lineup for tonight, it's Nikki Limo, it is Nick Rigby, Roger Nahum, Patrick Harvey, Tyler Patterson. I want to say, okay, so the alternates, I was saying Johan. No, I was saying something else, but Matt told me it's Johan, but isn't it Joanne Elder Eldon? No, Allen. Isn't it Joanne? I don't know.
I don't know who
Anyway,
that person is. Sorry.
it's Miss Eldon. I'm sorry we don't have the correct saying of pronunciation of your name. And Iris Liu are both going to be alternates for that game. And then the rivals are Kelly Minkin and Lily Coletto. So that's tonight's game. There is no alternate rival for those two. Like the last 2 nights, Berkey was the alternate for those rivals. So just so you kind of, that's just a bird's eye view for everyone. And yesterday's rival were Ryan DePaulo and the Trooper, which I have seen some videos in the last couple of weeks that DePaulo keeps calling out Trooper. And so I don't have all the details. So what is that angst about? Do you know? Can you tell us?
So yeah, well, there was a lot of back and forth on the stream. I can't recall how many times Trooper tried to claim we're not right. We're not rivals, and I don't care. He said I don't care. I forget how many times it was like that was like almost his mantra, even though he kept getting back into the argument. But I guess at some point, Trooper called DePaulo like a racist and a misogynist, and then DePaulo has been like making fun of Trooper in like I think every video. Sorry, I don't watch all of Ryan's videos, but yeah, he knocks. Yeah, he basically makes fun of Trooper every video. So yeah, so that's kind of what that's all been about, and they definitely went back and forth a lot during the stream.
Got it. Well, I tried to find the stream this morning because I thought, while I'm getting ready for my day, I could be listening to it and catch up. No, they don't have it up. And I found out from ASG in the chat that they're not putting it up or leaving it up because they are going to edit it for TV, so to speak. And I'm really kind of disappointed because I prefer the unedited version myself. And I understand why we need the edited version to get the mainstream folks to pick it up, blah, 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 blah. But as for me, I want to see everything. I want to see every minute of it. And I'm disappointed that I couldn't this morning.
Well,
Did
maybe
they?
they'll put it back up once the edited shows go on, but they don't want like it to be on for spoilers for
Right.
everybody.
Of
Yeah.
course, of course. And so, did they turn up my Savage's microphone?
No, but I'm wondering if they intentionally didn't, because Savage seems to be there for the edited show, yet talking about stuff.
Got it.
So maybe it's intentional. I'm not sure. I
Yeah, I just was like, if they just turned him up a tad,
Because I don't
it
think
would
his mic
add
is
to it.
live to the stream at all. I think we're only getting what the other mics are picking up when we're hearing.
Oh, that could be the problem. I mean, not the problem, but that may be their intention. Okay, appreciate that insight for sure. There was a little bit of a back and forth, you know, Kyna and Ryan, or yeah, Ryan were in a big hand together. Ryan had pocket kings. Kyna had ace eight offsuit, and Nikki was kind of verbally poking at Ryan, and said something like, once she hit a ace on the flop, didn't she, or on the turn, and once
On the
the
flop.
ace yeah, once the ace hit, Nikki yells out, "Go fix a window," which I guess is in reference to something that happened on the show the night before, when somebody won a big hand. And so then the river of or the turn, which was it?
River.
Was the king came, and of course Ryan yelled out, "Go fix a window." And then Nikki hit his hat off of his head. And then as Kyna was leaving the table, um, she kind of looked at him and said, "I remember the first cash game I've played," or something to that effect. Smart alecky.
Well, they
And
got into it like right before that all in.
I wondered, so tell us.
Yeah, so like there was definitely some drinking involved. Nikki was drinking and Kyna was drinking, and at some point Kyna took great offense to Ryan calling her wasted, and like she like almost stopped like to like talk about how rude it was and whatever, and Ryan apologized, and then that hand happened like a few hands later.
Got it. Got it. Well, unfortunately, it's not the first time that, Kyna's been drinking at a poker table, and that's her prerogative. I mean, whatever. I mean, just like anybody else drinks at a poker table, if they choose to, they choose to. Um, don't know if it's necessary to call her out, but whatever. Um, yeah. So fireworks tonight. We'll see. We shall see. What do you think's going to happen tonight?
I don't know anything about these players, but I at least know that they've played like in on streams before on like Poker Night. But like Trooper seemed like he didn't understand the format, what proper strategy was. I think Ryan went in with a plan that he didn't really have to use too much because he got up big early, but he definitely would have played in a way that the format would have helped. Oh my. So just to end on what ended on was at the towards the end you get like 10,000, right? So towards the end,
Right.
Ryan had like 14 or 13,000, and Trooper had like 5,000 with 5 hands to go, and he still was playing way too tight. So then the last hand, he gets it all in with Rigby, where Rigby has Ace King and Trooper has Jack Deuce,
Oh God.
and the so the flop and turn completely brick out. A deuce hits the river, which makes Trooper double up, but he still has less than Ryan, so Ryan just gets an extra 5,000 whatever dollars.
Oh, the irony. I think Trooper made some tweets about, that he just was gonna, that he just played it straight up, that he realizes that he could have done things differently at the end there, but chose not to. So it is what it is. And he also tweeted that they had 20 times the viewers on tonight's stream over the last night's stream. And of course, he thinks it's because of him, and that, Ryan's popularity had nothing to do with it, which is, just more gasoline to the fire, don't you think?
For sure. And
Oh.
no, you know what? It's not like Dentali and Jaffe are popular at all, really, with the general public, I think. But anyway.
Right. And Ryan has a very popular, we have to give him credit. He has a very popular podcast that's currently, underway. Trooper is a very popular,
That's what I'm saying. They're both
polarizing
way more
contact.
popular
Yeah.
than Dentali and
Yeah.
Jaffe are in the
Yeah.
online sphere.
For sure. They both have, ongoing content going. So,
And same thing with I expect this next one to be back down at the levels of the other one, but maybe because it's Saturday, might be a bit higher. But I don't think these people have like a huge following either. But I could be wrong.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who shows up, right? Uh, I was getting some chuckles. I'm going to talk about one thing, and then we'll get to Joey's coaching corner. Warner Brothers has signed a multi-year contract to broadcast for the next 3 years the WSOP main event. It's going to be for Eurosports in Europe and Asia, TNT Sports in Europe and Ireland, and then HBO Max in Europe. So that's an announcement that I think that may have been lost in the shuffle of the parking lot, gate wars, and the four-handed flop and whatever else is going on in the poker world. But that was a tweet put out by Jeff Platt. I don't remember when the tweet was put out, but in the last 24 hours. And so nobody's talking about it, but I think that's great news. And so for our friend Matt overseas, he's going to be happy because they're going to be broadcasting at least the main event the next 3 years. So he will be able to see that on one of his providers. So way to go, you WSOP. All right.
So that also reminded me that yesterday or 2 days ago during the first stream, they had 3 final tables going on at the same time. So that was another thing too.
Right. Right. Oh, I hear you. Hey, hi, Isaac. Hello, Isaac.
Good morning.
How are you, pal?
Oh, yeah. I finally got some rest last night, actually. I forced myself.
Good for you. Good for you.
You know when you start, when you're looking at the screen and it starts turning blurry, that you can't refocus. It's time to knock out. It's time to knock out.
That's almost every night I try to play poker with y'all. Because y'all know I already am bored playing online. The only thing that saves me is I'm playing with friends. But I'm always falling asleep playing that game. So I get it.
Last night, though, and I didn't see this until after because I think I peeked over and saw what was going on. Yeah, the Chip Chuck had a nice payout last night.
Yeah, it did. Hell yeah.
Whoa.
Hell yeah, for sure.
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
That, though, glad I woke up. Good morning, everybody.
I'm glad you did too. All right, we're going to turn it over to Joey. We're a few minutes behind getting it to him, but we appreciate his patience with that time thing. And Joey Gargiulo is our resident poker coach this summer, giving us a 15 minutes lessons every day so we can improve our game. So take it away, Joey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sherry. So Doyle Brunson once said, poker is war. People pretend it's a game. And in case you're just joining, like this is the first spaces you've heard, I always refer back. If it's war, let's go back to the handbook of war. Let's go back to 5 BC. Okay, 5 BC. Okay, 5 years before Christ was born, Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War. And there's some amazing quotes in that book and strategy that apply to poker. For instance, he said, all warfare is based on deception. He also said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. And the last thing I want to bring up that he said, because there's so many, but it really applies to today's lesson, is that supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. In poker, that means we win without having to go to showdown. Interesting, right? So today's lesson is about how every bet tells a story. And if we tell the story right, many times we don't have to go to showdown. So I'm going to read from the 30-Day Poker Coach, and let's do this. Every time you put chips in the pot, you are speaking. The only question is whether what you are saying is making sense. Bet sizing is one of poker's clearest languages, and a lot of players speak it terribly. They fire random sizes without understanding the message. For instance, they fire tiny bets because they feel nervous, or giant bets because they are afraid of getting sucked out on. Sometimes they fire weird over bets because they want the hand to be over. And we even see them fire clicky, half-hearted stabs because checking just felt too weak. This type of betting is not communication. This is emotional leakage. A small bet can mean a lot of things. It can be a blocker, a range bet, a thin value bet, a cheap bluff, or a pot control tool. Now take a large bet, on the other hand. A large bet can polarize your range. It can pile pressure on bluff catchers or extract maximum value. The correct size depends on your purpose, the board, the player, and what part of your range you are targeting. Strong players ask questions weaker players skip. They ask questions like, what am I trying to get called by? Or what am I trying to fold out? Or here's one, what size creates that response most effectively? If you want value from weaker one pair hands on a dry board, you may not need to bomb it. If you want maximum pressure on a scary river, and we talked about this, a timid size may accomplish nothing. And context, the context always matters. Some players call anything. Others fold to real heat. And some of us notice patterns. Others barely register bet size at all. They're not paying attention. The best number is not chosen in a vacuum. It's chosen at the table in real time with a target. So a useful exercise is to review hands and ask whether your sizing matched the real intention. I challenge everybody to ask questions like, did you bet too small when protection mattered? I mean, how often does it happen to us? How often does the opponent say, if you had bet like 100 more, 4 chips more, I would have folded? And we're like, ah. And we also have to ask questions like, did you overbet when you wanted value from a wide range? That sucks when they fold, right? That means we priced them out. Interesting. Did your bluff size actually threaten enough pain to work? That's another question. And these questions sharpen us very quickly. A bet is not just chips moving forward. It's a sentence. If your size does not match your meaning, sharp opponents will hear the contradiction. So Aristotle once said, a whole has a beginning, middle, and end. So if you're telling a story, make sure you already know that you are going to have an ending, beginning, middle, end. We can't start the story with betting and then totally give up and check when the story was working. That's just one example, and there's so many of them. Just remember, we don't have many ways that we can speak at the poker table. So betting is the loudest thing that we can do. Peace out, my friends.
Oh, that's an awesome lesson. That is a very awesome lesson.
Thank you.
Very good food for thought for sure. Isaac or ASG, you guys have any comments about it or questions?
No, but I really do. I've always thought that you speak with your betting. So I love today's lesson. And I definitely, one very cool fact about the way I think Joey introduced everything today was when he said this was 5 years before Christ. That tells you how ancient the knowledge is. No, seriously, like
I know, I'm with you.
as long as I read Art of War when I was a kid and have read many books that have derived from it. And it's interesting to think how old that is, though. Like, wow. But yeah, no, amazing lesson. Thank you, Joey.
Appreciate you, brother.
Love it. Thank you, Joe. What's your lesson for tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Oh my God. What day is it tomorrow? We know what it is. Oh, I can't believe that things are progressing so quickly. We're going to dig a little deeper every day. We're getting a little deeper. And tomorrow, we're going to go over how. I wish we all could do this. Learn how to fold big hands. Not easy.
Love that. Love that.
Wait. Is that tomorrow? Hold on. Yes, it is. Learn
Okay.
how to fold big hands. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Joey. Appreciate that lesson for sure. I love that we can pull from things from the past that still hold true till today. The art of war is one of those things, and it's amazing how good. What do you call it? Good content, so to speak, never becomes bad content. Like it lasts forever through the decades, like the Bible, through the decades, through the centuries, and it still stands strong. So very interesting.
Amen.
Very interesting. Love it. Okay, you guys. I want to talk about this. The four cards on the flop hand. It just isn't going away. And now there's, talk that there's a bigger picture and, there's more to it than what we saw. And there is one thing I did see this morning that even raised my eyebrow about it. And that is some of the folks at the table, Ricky and another gentleman, are now saying that when the king was designated the burn card and the dealer was going to now deal the turn card, before she did, she had the two burn cards, the flop burn card and then the king that was turned into the the burn card for the turn. But before she did the turn, she actually burned another card. And guess what? Do we have a video that shows that or doesn't show that? The only video I've seen is the video when with the dealer's back is to us. Why don't we have the camera view from the front view. Was that something already in question before that video was released? I don't know. ASG, you have any thoughts?
Well, it really depends on what they did with that king. Like when they made it the burn, did they put it as the burn or did they put it into the muck? Like where did that king go?
No, it went to the burn pile.
So we should be able to. I mean, we have the overhead view. We should be able to see if there's 3 burns or
If
4.
you can look, if you can, if you can find the overhead view, please post it.
Okay.
Please post it. I didn't have a lot of time this morning to dig, but yeah, if we can get the overhead view, please post it because the only one I could find this morning was the one where we're looking at the back of the dealer. And so we're not even looking at the cards on the table, so to speak, or her hands. Like you can't see her hands. You can see the cards on the flop and the turn in the river, but you can't see the dealers in full view, I guess is my point. So go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, no, I actually was gonna say I saw the overhead view, and yeah, you see how when they deal them, the last two are kind of stuck together. Then I read that the way that they decided that the king was the one that got mugged was like it was kind of weird.
Okay, so just so we could backtrack for a minute, um, we discussed it in length the other day. And so what happened is she flopped out 4 cards. And by the rule, and I believe it was rule number 38 or 39 in the TDA book, by the rule, they turned over those 4 cards and like swished them around in a pile, mixing them up. And then the dealer picked out one. She didn't turn it over. She picked up one and that one is now the muck card. The other 3 cards were turned over for the flop. And then the hand continued. So I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with Twitter. Are you still there, Isaac?
Oh yeah, I just turned off my
Okay.
mic.
Okay, no problem. It showed that both you and ASG went down from co-host. Here comes
You know how
ASG.
X do. You know how X do.
Oh my God. I think I'm just going to stop using co-host and just leave y'all as
Oh no,
speakers.
this one was me. I accidentally hit leave as I was going to get up.
I love it. But did that answer your question, Isaac? I forgot what the hell we were even talking about.
Oh yeah. I mean, the whole
Okay.
thing was you were saying that you were looking for an overhead of the camera angle, and I was saying when I saw the thing, it was an X post. Who the hell did it? God damn, was it Poker Nose?
Yeah, if we
It was
could
one of
find
them.
that, I would love for us to
Here, I'll dig.
uh,
I'll dig. Be right back.
retweet that. Don't kick yourself out of the space. Uh, I would
And
love
it's
for us.
rule number 89 in the WSOP rules since we're
Thank you. Appreciate that. For sure. I would really like to see it from a camera angle that we can see the rest of the hand being dealt by the dealer. Did she, in fact, burn a second burn card before the turn? Because if she did, that's a whole nother can of worms, isn't it? Yikes. So while the guys are looking for that stuff, we're going to keep on moving. I alluded to the fact that my new AKA is the white Oprah of the poker community. Now, why did I say that? Because this morning I was tagged in a tweet that David Bekhour put out, um, a list of superlatives um, pertaining to the world of poker. Okay. And it's comical. Like I was reading it and then I was like, oh, wait, he included me, which, you know, you guys know I have a great sense of humor and I can make fun of myself like anyone else can. So let me pull it up really quick and we can go through the whole list of them because they are fun. I love the fact he took his time and made it, about the poker world. So let me pull it up really quickly if I can find it. Because it is cute for sure. Just something different. Okay, so he writes in his tweet, couldn't let yearbook season pass without some poker player superlatives. Alan Keaton, aka Mr. Keating, most likely to marry a girl from Vietnam named V. Pip. Kristen Foxen, aka Chrissy B. 24 Poker, most likely to inspire 10,000 self appointed poker coaches to come out of the shadows overnight. Sam Kiki, aka Senor Tilt, most likely to have more beef than a Montana cattle ranch. Doug Polk, aka Doug Polk Vids, most likely to call his lawyers before calling a Texas size bluff. Phil Hellmuth, aka Phil Hellmuth, most likely to wear an Under Armour tracksuit in the shower and still complain about the water's etiquette. Daniel Negreanu, aka Real Kid Poker, most likely to become a non binary professor of rhetoric who identifies as a professional poker player. Jeff Platt, aka Jeff Platt, most likely to bust and instinctively interview the guy who took all his chips. Andy Sy, aka Andy Stacks Poker, most likely to move to Asia because Ryan Feldman won't set up a production there. Veronica Brill, aka Angry Pollock, most likely to turn down a free room at Mar-Lago. Benjamin Rowe, aka Ben CB789, most likely to be a poker polygamist because he refuses to commit to just one table. Sherry Peaches Plascota, aka Sherry Plascota, most likely to be the white Oprah of the poker community. Brad Owen, aka Brad Owen, the Brad Owen, most likely to take a bad beat better than anyone because his cats are waiting for him at home. Garrett Addleston, aka G Man Poker, most likely to not hit a 20 outer. Bill Perkins, aka BP22, most likely to die with zero and still have the highest life EV in the room. Chris Lefty Land, aka All or Nubbin, most likely to be dealt only one strong hand. Ethan Yao, aka Rampage Poker, most likely to go all in under the gun with two suited Pokemon cards. How fun are those, you guys? Come on. Love that.
There's some great ones in there for sure. And funny enough,
I
funny
love
you
that.
mentioned Phil Hellmuth. Poker News did Phil Hellmuth dirty, and had an under the table shot of his fucking socks without him watching. I'd be so fucking pissed the fuck off.
Didn't they say something about him channeling his inner hamburglar?
Hamburglar, yup, that did him fucking dirty right there. Anyway, I posted the post up top. That
Oh, perfect. That video.
Yeah, that has
Okay, so I
the
can't.
deal.
All right. I can't click on it, but can somebody watch it and see, even if you need to go out and come back in,
I'm here. Yeah,
see if
I'm
the,
watching it as we speak.
okay, okay, see if the dealer,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
they
watching
make the
the actual stream recording, and wherever she's putting the burns is like way far away, so you can't see the burns.
Yeah, you can't see him in the video I'm watching either. You just see the deal, and you just see literally like the area where the cards land.
okay, there has to be another camera view. There has to be. They have so many cameras on those
Like they
tables.
got the overhead
So
view, but I don't know like how like where she's putting the burns. Because yeah, I'll post the picture of of uh
okay.
of like basically, and I could show even when the entire board run out, like there's no burns ever shown there.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. And if she did, I mean, it just is a whole different can of worms. Like, honest to God, you guys. Like, oh, yay.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the
Oh,
mug
but
pile. If it usually it's to the left, right?
well, but what if she's a lefty dealer? Could it be to the right? I don't know. I'm just asking.
The right. Nah, when she dealt with her right hand because she did this thing when the two cards got stuck. The way it was with her right hand.
All right.
Yeah, nah,
Okay.
it's just oh man, dude. pretty dirty though.
Well, it's unfortunate,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
It's
It is.
unfortunate. Like
It
the
is.
whole thing is very unfortunate. But if she ended up burning an extra card, then that changes the river, and he may not have hit the straight, right? And we'll never know unless they release some more footage. And quite honestly, I don't see that happening because would that bring a lawsuit? I don't know. I
Oh,
have no
hold on,
idea.
hold on. I saw it. Hold on. Her muck or okay, burn cards go to the left, right? Muck pile. Her muck pile's on the right.
Okay.
I'm seeing it right now. Here, I'm gonna take a screenshot and I'll post it in the comments. Let me see if I can.
All right. Go ahead, Joey, while
I
he's
would
doing
love to
that.
hear Tracy's perspective since she's a professional poker dealer.
She's welcome anytime, Trace.
Oh, you guys, it's so brutal for me. It's the most painful thing I've ever experienced. I'm literally working harder being a player at the table than when I actually work. No joke. Like, we've had
Yeah.
so many costly mistakes from dealers, and I had two dealers that forgot to burn twice yesterday.
Oh,
I mean, it's just it's
it's so
it's so
unfortunate.
sad. It's really sad that WSOP has kind of set people up to fail, and that sucks. It sucks for them, and I do my best to have patience and help them with little ideas, and they're all learning. I get it, but yeah, it's
I don't agree with the WSOP sets them up to fail. I mean, maybe they should have been practicing at home more before they dove into that pond.
right, but maybe WSOP should have a little bit higher standards of what it takes to become a dealer. I literally asked one of the dealers how they got the job because she didn't even know what hand beat what. She asks us every time who
Yeah.
wins. And I said, can I ask how you got this job? She told me she answered 5 questions online and got the job. There's no
Yeah.
audition, there's no basic training to see where they stand. I mean, it's sad. You're in the most prestige poker and you have the worst dealers.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you follow up with a question asking her if she told the truth on all 5 questions?
No, I did not. I just thought
I definitely would have.
when she
I'm just
said
going to
that,
tell you, I'm that one that would have said, I'm just telling you, Trace, I'm not trying to hold you accountable at all. So don't misunderstand my question. But I'm that one that would be like, because she's so bad, thinking that she didn't fill it out truthfully. And so they hired her. And now here we are with this dealer.
true.
Um, and I'm going to also tell you that I have friends that deal in the WSOP, and they're like, we had to go through this whole process. And I don't know if that process has changed because there's new ownership. I don't know. I can't answer that question. But we have had dealers, terrible dealers at every WSOP I've ever been to, and I've been going to them for a long time now.
Yeah.
And I've inevitably have always ended up at a table with at least one dealer that you're like, oh my God. And I remember the day that one of them literally said, this is my first time ever dealing. And I was like, holy shit, how are they dealing the WSOP?
I know. It's so
Yeah.
sad. I just wish that, it's like I said, you're the best of the best. Pay your dealers a little bit more, and they're $15 a down is pathetic. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to put it out there. I've never done a job where I get $15 a down. That's like an insult. I mean, to a dealer.
I hear
And
you. I hear
step
you.
your game up a little bit. You're the best of the best. If you pay your dealers a little bit more, then you wouldn't have to worry about this every year. You would have good travel dealers that are on the road all the time, and you wouldn't have this issue. It comes up every single year. It's never changed.
I know.
Everybody
Yeah.
expects it. So
100%. And yeah, it's if you end up at a table with a new dealer, it's really hard because A, you just want to relax and play your game.
right.
And now you've got the pressure of watching the dealer to make sure they're doing everything
Absolutely.
right.
And you have to
And
watch
it's, oh,
everything
yes,
change.
dude.
They don't know how to
Yes.
break down pots. And if there's a three-way
Yes.
all in, oh my gosh, they're
Yes.
so lost. Like,
Yes. It's so hard. But again, we can't have good dealers unless we help the newbies become good dealers. So it's a catch 22,
it
right?
is.
And honestly, it's a rock and a hard place because just the enormity of the beast of the WSOP. They need thousands of
Yeah,
dealers.
but they
And
need
so,
bodies in that box, unfortunately.
yes,
And yeah.
yes. So, all right. I'm going to go to Isaac and then ASG. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, with dealers and WSOP, I've always wondered about that myself because, like, I'm out here in LA, right? And I'll never forget my first WSOP. I came back out here and I played a series at the bicycle. And when I was there, I saw all the shitty dealers that were in Vegas were at this fucking tournament. And I was like, what the fuck? Y'all followed me over here? Fuck, I'm fucked, yo. Like, I was so mad. But I did observe something that I kind of noticed a pattern. There are there are the good dealers, right? And I don't know how they get
All
in,
right.
but I do know that out here, for example, they run these schools, right?
Yeah.
And they're locked.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get in there unless you're a certain race. I will not mention which one. Y'all could probably figure it out, right? But there are schools that they have set up so that you don't even speak a lick of English, but they go make you a dealer and then they throw you out there. And I think they supply a really big amount of dealers, right? Like they said, you got to have bodies in the box, right? So you imagine they probably
Right.
find as many good dealers as they can find, and then they just hit you with the whole flock of this, and it's a mixed
Well,
bag.
and I do know, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what's going on now with the process, but I do remember at one point um, that they, like the dealers had to go to this like tryout and actually try out before getting the job. I don't know if that's still going on. I don't know what the process is now.
I
But every year, like
I feel
Tracy
like not
said,
everybody.
yeah, like Tracy said, every year we still hear about it and hear about dealers that are making like major mistakes. And it's not even about how big the mistake is. It's about I'm a poker player, you're getting paid to deal the cards. I don't want to babysit you. And I will do that. And I will do it gracefully and I will do it for hours, but I don't want to. I
Yeah,
want to play poker and focus on that.
I
So
hear you.
ASG, I promised you next, and then we'll go to Joey.
Okay, but as we said, well, I forget which day this was, but as we said, this is this particular dealer though is an experienced circuit dealer, and
Right?
as at least according to Ashley Francis, who's in a I guess a common dealer on Twitter, and then somebody else pointed out that the RFID cards have different thickness and stuff. So
Right.
because they're
Right.
slippery and they don't click when you put out a flop like regular Copags do. So like yeah, dealing on stream is also like a different thing entirely. And yeah, cards stick together. Like this is not like a crazy dealer error. And and
Right.
there comes so often the case personally where I'm blaming the floors. Like this floor first asked the table, um, what the rule was. Then,
Yes, he
then
did.
once the table didn't want to answer, goes to their supervisor to get the answer, and then I'm watching in the
Right.
video that as soon as she puts out the new flop, he walks away without making sure there's
Yes.
any other issue.
Right. And honestly, you have to wonder if there was a third burn before the turn. Wow, say that 10 times. Um, if that could have been avoided if he had stayed there and watched
Yeah,
to make
that's what
sure
I'm
the
saying.
rest of the
Like,
hand played out
after
right.
there's all
Yeah,
this
of
confusion
course.
on the flop, like, it's very easy to be
Yeah.
like, well, I'm burning and turning because I don't have any other cards in my hand. That's why I was asking if, like, what they
Right.
did with that fourth card, because unless if that's in, like, a burn pile, if it's straight in the muck, the first thing you're going to see is, oh, I have no burns out, so I'm going to burn and turn.
Right. 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 No, of course. And again, a calamity of errors, right? And guess what? After she did the four cards on the flop, I'm sure it made her nervous, upset. She's like, oh my God, everybody's watching me. It's hard to recover from that quickly when the hand's still going for that dealer.
Especially, there
So
was, like,
I
I can't tell you exactly how much time, but there was a decent period of time where those spark
Yes.
cards are out and they're just waiting for a decision, and they're like,
Yeah.
the table's telling her, don't touch anything right
Oh
now.
no. Oh my God. Isaac, did you find anything else out from the footage? What are you thinking?
I put the screenshot in the comments actually.
All right. While I'm looking at that, go ahead, Joey.
So I want to paint a picture for you of how much, like Tracy said, they're setting them up to fail. And I'll give you a really good example. Assuming that nobody listening to this knows, let's pick the Chinese language, okay? And imagine you do not know the Chinese language, you do not know the Chinese symbols, and you were hired to fly over to China and deal a Chinese game called Doji Jiang that you've never played before. And that's part of the challenge. We have dealers that do not even understand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because they don't know our symbols and they've never played poker before. It's a major challenge for them. And I kudos to those that arise out of this and come back next year. But we also know, and after week 1, a lot of them have to quit because it's really stacked against them.
Well, and they should not be in the box. I mean, they should never be in the box to begin with.
Yeah, well, I've been pulling some of them aside saying you're doing a great job. And I asked them off the record without anybody hearing, did you ever play poker before? No. And then I even said, do you know 4, 5, and they honestly say to me, I'm learning. So
Yeah.
they
No,
can't.
I've been at a no, I've been at a table when I've said to the dealer, because the dealing is so bad, I finally just say, have you ever played poker before? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, that helps us a lot because we're assuming you know more than you know. And I didn't say that to her. I'm just saying that
Right,
now.
yeah.
But right?
Oh, it's frustrating, but it is what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very frustrating for sure. Very frustrating. And it's also it also puts a lot of pressure on the good dealers. And it's not fair to the good dealers because their profession's being dragged through the mud because we got folks not doing a good job. And it's also not fair to them, honestly. I feel bad for the dealers that are doing a great job. For sure. All right. All right. We're going to move on to something else. Um, Isaac, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot.
Are you?
Are you ready?
And yeah, just let me grab my stuff. Yeah.
Oh, not that. Not that.
Oh, okay. What am I ready
My
for?
phone was starting to ring. Sorry. But that's okay. We'll do that in a minute as well. I want to talk to you about a few things about the Green Visor Gang.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna say to everybody, if you don't know this already, I'm gonna just tell you, I love the folks at the Green Visor Gang and I consider them friends. And so I don't want anybody to get this twisted in any way, shape, or form, but I have a little bone to pick, and we're going to pick at the bone, and then we're going to move on because we can have adult conversations here in spaces and move on from those because we get answers and clarification. And so don't even twist this into something that it isn't, people, because we know how some like to do that. But I was a little upset this morning, Isaac, to
Okay.
find out that the Phase 7 game has been switched to Sunday night.
It has.
Yes. And the reason I'm upset is as a pass holder, I want to say I bought 3 and won 4, or I bought 4 and won 3 of the passes. So I have 7 Phase 7 passes. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm proud to have those 7. I think I have the most passes in the phase of 7. Whatever. It doesn't, I mean, whatever. But my point is that I'm putting my money out there to buy passes. I'm putting my time out there to win passes as well as money for the buy-ins, right? So to speak. And um, we're not doing it on the day of the week that we were promised. And I made arrangements to play the game tonight. And guess what? It's been moved to tomorrow, and I find that out today. I'm not happy, Isaac.
I hear you. Well, this is news to me, unfortunately. So here, I'm actually trying to read back in the chats. What the hell?
It's
Who?
on the, I think it's
No,
the
no, I'm
face
I'm
sec.
I'm I'm in the
Okay.
Phase 7 chat right now, but
Okay.
no, I'm trying to look at other chats where I want to see what the
Yeah.
origin of this was, why the decision was made. Did people
And look,
complain about the two games being too close to each other?
I'm excited about the Kumite round two game. Lots of exciting prizes for people to win. Dibs is doing a great job, being a partner for that and giving you guys, anybody that plays that game is going to get a 1 month free subscription to his new app, the Edge app, which is a GTO trainer, hand logger, a study system with streaks, a session tracker, and much more. It's a great opportunity for the visor game for sure. But, why not just schedule that on Sunday? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, we just need to be consistent and stick with the game plan, is my point of view. When we promise somebody or a group of people or players something, we got to stick to that. Like, we got to go through, the like a post office worker, sleet, rain, snow, they show up. And that's what it has to be. We have to stay consistent with our promises. Otherwise, people will stop believing in those promises. And I firmly believe that. So there's my 2 cents, Isaac.
Yeah, and I totally understand you. Sorry, I'm reading as I'm hearing
That's
you.
okay. No
Uh, from
worries.
what I can tell, and I haven't seen this because again, I've been on another place for GVG right now with the art.
Right. Right.
But as I can tell right now, just reading what I'm reading, I think it was going to be too much of a workload for probably D-Man. I don't know if Exec Deck is going to be available tonight, and maybe that had a big thing to play into it. That maybe D-Man was going to be the only one doing rebuys.
Well, and guess what?
That's
Then
an
why not?
assumption right now. That's an assumption, but
And I get it, but then that game should have been scheduled for Sunday. I mean, why?
the Kumite one.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah,
how
no,
about just
I'm gonna have to
earlier?
talk
How
to the
about
guys about
I'm
this. I
just
mean,
giving look,
I
I'm
see
just
what.
giving you suggestions. Just giving you suggestions, or even move it up. So maybe that game starts at 7 and the phase 7 pass game starts at 8:30.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, like I said, from what I can tell, I think it had to do with that, and I think the decision. But well, right now, a lot of the decision making for stuff, if it's poker and everything, it's not in my hands at the moment. Not to say that that would have had any bearing on that being different, to
Right.
be honest,
Right,
because if
right,
we were
right.
understaffed, we were understaffed. But looks
And D
like,
man, I'm not trying to make one more work for you because I know you're working your butt off. I'm not trying to do that for anybody, but I just feel like instead of bumping something, we've all paid to play that game, so to speak.
mhm.
Um, I just think we need to think about that and do a little bit better. Maybe it should have been Friday night's game. The what's it called?
I think
Kumite.
yesterday they kind of were alluding to it. Were they talking about it yesterday? I'm going as far back as I can to see where. I'm laughing because I had told D Man to go to sleep actually a couple nights ago in the chat.
Poor
Because
D
I'm telling
man.
you, because listen, like the craziest thing about us is that we operate like, some of us operate regular hours, like Mac, for example. Mac is, he works in his job, he has a
Right.
career, so he has a very rigid schedule. Whereas like me, JB, D Man, right? We're like all weirdo vampires and we love being up from fucking midnight to 4 in the morning talking about shit,
Right.
GVG and everything, right? When it's nice and
Absolutely.
quiet.
Not
But
only talking about it, but they're working,
well,
approving people,
yeah,
putting up games. I mean, you
yeah.
guys are working.
And as we're
And
doing all of that, funny enough, like, we all, I can't even tell you how many times all of us fall asleep at the screen. But
of
that
course,
that being
of
said, though,
course.
okay, yeah, I see that it came up. I see that it was put to a vote. The shitty part is that not everybody gets to vote sometimes. One, and last minute decisions. I get you. It's like prioritize what's an not a normal event and not part of the actual season. How we framed some of these things can always be worked on. The options we deliver can always be worked on. So it's something that I'll talk to the team about and see like
Appreciate
what we
you.
can figure out for the future. But I mean, you already know, Sherry. Like we try our hardest, and we do. We
I
always make
know.
sure that on the other end, if there's dissatisfactions and things like that, we always find a way to make it good for everybody. But I appreciate you bringing that up, though. The shitty part is for me, it was all news right now, so I'm like, what? What?
Sorry.
What the fuck happened?
Sorry.
What is this? And now I
And
gotta ask you, okay? And now I gotta ask
look,
you, is that what that text was about that I woke up to? By the way?
well, well, let's just say, the thing about it is sometimes we assume everybody's in the loop right away because we're up and doing this and that. And I'm 3 hours ahead of Isaac. He's still sleeping. I'm still working, because I'm woken up. I'm hitting the ground running. I'm trying to get ready for the show, blah, 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 blah. Right. And so, it wasn't fair to Isaac either that I assumed he knew that the game had been moved. And I'm sorry about that, Isaac, for sure.
Ah, you good? Don't
Um,
worry about that.
but I'm coming from the correct spot. And D man, go ahead, buddy. I brought you up.
Yeah, it was the exec deck wouldn't be around to help with rebuys, and I'll be approving people to the club for tonight's game while assisting Discord also. We just don't have the manpower for it tonight. Unfortunately, yeah, we'll play it better in the future. We'll make sure
Appreciate you,
we
D
do that.
man.
You
And
know what?
that
Hey,
just
you
goes
know what?
back to go
Oh,
ahead.
no, what I was
No,
gonna
go
say
ahead.
is, you know what, D man, we need to hire some of these, some of these extra dealers. We gotta find our own Discord.
It might not be a bad thing to do.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, and the thing is, we got to look at that on the front end. And the front end of that is you guys are volunteers and the workload, right? And so it's never a good idea, ever, to schedule two events overlapping near each other, without enough time between them that most of the people will be out of the first before the second starts. That's never, ever a good idea, ever. And so, really, it should go back to we're either scheduling this new event on another day or earlier that day, or earlier and you push the phase 7 game back a half an hour so that there's room for both of them. But it should never be a choice for the customer. It should be both available. My 2 cents, people. I'm getting off my soapbox.
Hey, either way, appreciate you. I like constructive criticism, so it's all good.
Well, and I love you for it because Isaac knows I'm willing to listen to. We both are willing to listen to each other, which makes our friendship unique and good. I might
Yes,
add.
yes,
I,
very true.
I, I'm not going to assume now that I've learned my lesson 5 minutes ago. I'm not going to assume that you saw the message in the group chat, our space, our daily coverage group chat. I'm not going to assume you saw the message in there asking about you guys giving away a ladies' event seat this year. I know it's been postponed, but I did want to bring it up because it was brought up in that chat. So let me just give a little bit of background.
Oh,
Back
actually,
in the spring, oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, no, no.
Just, let me do this first, and I'm going to give you the floor because
We're
I
taking.
do want people to have a little background. Okay, earlier in the spring, the club's NFT, and again, I don't know all the lingo jingo, but their NFG collection got stolen. Okay, their account was drained. Thankfully, a lot of people in the community came together and figured out how to get some of it back for them, which I think is amazing. I don't know how all that works, but I think it's amazing that the community came together to help them rebuild that wallet and get some of that stuff back into their wallet. Then they had an issue, a couple other issues that really dragged the rug right under their feet because they're on these great projects like the NFT collection and the jewelry collection, and some things went wrong with the people that were supposed to help with those, and it really has thrown a wrench into everything for them. And they're working hard to make up ground. I want everybody to know that. And part of that is the NFT collection, which the lady's seat was tied to. Guess what? it's postponed. Why? Because right now, Isaac is working around the clock to come up with the artwork for thousands of NFTs because the artists they had to move on from, so to speak. And now that's in Isaac's lap, and he's working hard to get it done for the club. So I don't want anybody to get that confused. But that lady's seat was tied to that NFT collection, and they're going to do something in the future about that. But because I was asked about it, I was going to bring it up because I was asked about it. So go ahead, Isaac. Whatever else you want to add to that, baby.
I mean, well, funny enough, there's not much I can add because to begin with, not a lot of people even know that much about things on the NFT side. But what I will say is this: is that yeah, we had interesting challenge that came up. So we had to pivot. We're going to have to pivot with certain things that we're delivering. Unfortunately, one of those things is that, yeah, we are going to be delaying which WSOP those tickets are going to apply to. So originally, the intent was for those to be for this year's WSOP. But the way things are looking, since we have not been able to announce our mint yet, that means that by the time we do mint, that event will have come and gone. So we're going to plan to move that over to be promised for next year's WSOP. But Sherry had brought this up to me. And, again, it's a fair point that at the end of the day, if you put your name behind something, you kind of want always to not have to look like you didn't know what you were talking about or like you weren't delivering what you were promising. So, because of that, I mean, I'm in the back channels trying to figure things out with the team as to what we can do this year, right? To show love and maybe be able to do something this year still. But it's all in the works right now. Things are like, I mean, speaking for us, this is probably the most busiest time for us that we've probably ever had because not only are we like you said, not only are we delivering our seasonal poker, our daily poker, and doing all of that, we're building our IP essentially that we're launching in Web3. Web3, for those of you that aren't part of NFTs or anything about that, for the most part, it's about either, having some kind of a product, right? That you deliver and you mask it with some kind of a PFP, which is some kind of piece of art, or, you're raising to do something like in a bigger sense, whether it's launching a tech company, launching a business, doing any of that. We're creating intellectual property that represents Green Visor Gang because our future goals with this collection is for us to make like Web3 native jewelry and for us to eventually turn these characters that we're making into like a plush that you could hold in your hand or something you could have at the poker table, hopefully. And yeah, that's where we're at with that. So it's a very big thing to take on while we're doing what we're doing. So we're basically a little stretched right now at the moment, and everybody's bandwidth is super tight. But it's a great
And
it's a
I'm going
great
to
journey
just
so far, though. I
go
will
ahead.
say it's a great journey. It's just a big challenge, and yeah, I took on the art. Speaking of that, though, one of the things I had to take on was recently we were blessed enough to get a partnership with MetaMask, which is essentially the crypto wallet if you're in the NFT world. So we, through max efforts, really, were able to get a partnership with them, and we this morning are launching a token on MetaMask that you can go into your MetaMask app, go to their reward section, and you will find Green Visor Gang's Soulbound token there, and you can mint that for free. And if you do that,
You heard it here,
and if you do
people.
that, that will help you. For example, with tonight's game that we're having the Kumite because it's a Web3 native thing. So we got some incentives in there, and MetaMask and the team at the Miracle, which are the people who are helping this happen, they provided us like a even doper opportunity because we had a few communities come together to make the prize pool that's happening tonight. I think the prize pool originally was somewhere around 1,500, 1,600, right, in prizes, NFTs, tokens, and whatnot.
Right.
Well, the Miracle and MetaMask gave us $5,000 for us to give a founders package. So if you, for example, have some kind of Web3 brand or you have an NFT collect or you have something and you would like to do what we're doing, which is release a token through MetaMask and the Miracle, then there is a $5,000 basically starter package there that will be awarded tonight. So again, this may sound like complete other language to some of y'all, but if you are at all in NFTs or anything like that, these are huge things that we have been blessed to provide and be able to basically steward. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, everything may be uh, not perfect at the moment, but trust that when we release these things and when we put this all together, our main focus has always been delivering, no matter what we're doing, whether it's poker or whether it's the NFT world. So we have nothing but the best intentions, and I hope y'all, strap in. For those of you guys that are taking the ride with us, like for example, my guy Dillo, my guy D Man, shout out to y'all, Sherry, right? Because Sherry is heavily in the gang now, which I love. Like come fuck with it. At the end of the day, what we're doing is we're always trying to make poker feel like extended family. Like that's our kind of philosophy, is bring the home game vibe to the digital space. And I feel like we've been achieving that pretty well, actually, by the community that we've built. So I'll shut the fuck up. That's enough for me to say already. I think I've said enough.
That's no, 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 no. You're doing great. Love it. And again, we have these dialogues because they're necessary sometimes. And an informed public is going to support whatever 1,000 times better. Because sometimes people are wondering what the heck's going on. And guess what? If you just ask the question, you're going to find out what's going on. And these guys are working their asses off. Believe me, I know it. You should know it too. And they're doing it on behalf of poker and the NFT world. And what they're doing is setting the bar high. And sometimes they have to pivot because something happens. And guess what? It's okay. We just pivot and we keep on moving. But we also have to keep people involved and informed. And that's part of why we have these conversations. And, I'm going to kick some ass in these games. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but here we are. So thank you,
Oh yeah,
Isaac.
for sure.
Appreciate you. Redeeming.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, no, and
Um,
thank you for trusting us, right, to provide you poker. Thank you for, what I'm saying, advocating for us.
always.
To be an advocate for something, it means you have true belief and passion in what you're advocating. And I am an advocate naturally myself, so I appreciate that greatly.
Well, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate them for sure. All right, we're going to move on. Hopefully, that gave some folks the information they were seeking. And I'm going to go over to the WSOP and get some of the information out that's happening today or happened yesterday at the WSOP. Event number 18 at 10 a.m. has a start. It's day 1D of the $1,500 Monster Stack No Limit Tournament. At 11 a.m., event number 18, day 2C, is also that part of that Monster Stack tournament. Tony Hang, I think it's Hoang, is the chip leader going into today with 127 million. Michael Arlano, I believe. Arielano, I believe is what it is. 66 million. Doesn't that seem like a lot of chips for a day two? Am I hallucinating here, people? What do you think, Isaac? Don't you think 127 million in chips is a lot?
Million? Did
Yes.
she like go all in with the whole table and they all called?
I don't know. I'm like, why is this such a. And then the second place person is 66 million. I don't know what the deep stack starting stack is. Do you, ASG or
I
Joey?
think a deep stack is 25K chips usually, isn't it?
Yeah, unless it's a deep
Ultra deep stack, right, or something like that.
Starting stack is 50K.
50K. Okay, that
Sheesh.
makes better sense. Thank you,
Thank you,
Tracy.
Trace.
Thank you.
Damn, 50K.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
Because I was like, that's 127 million. That's a lot of chips going into day two.
But think about how many
Jesus.
people you
Okay.
had to crush to turn 50 into 127 million, though.
Yeah. Do you think it might be a typo on the
But
site? It
I
could
don't
be a
know. That
typo.
that sounds wild.
I'm thinking it's a typo, like 1.2 maybe.
Maybe it's a typo. We'll figure it out though as the day
Which
goes on for
tournament is
sure.
this?
That is the event number 18, the day 2C of the Monster Stack.
Yeah, I'm looking at Poker News, and they say the chip leader has 740,000.
Okay, so the site is wrong. Thank you. That makes better sense.
No,
I was like, how the hell
Yeah,
did
I
they
would
get,
use
like they had
Poker
to be,
News for chip counts or whatever going into the day, because the WSOP has like the reported chip stacks of what people are self-reporting and stuff, whereas the Poker News I think is more
yeah,
what people actually bagged.
but isn't the dealer supposed to log in the chip counts every so often, and then at the end of the day, the dealer enters the chip counts off of their bags? I thought I could have that all misconstrued, but that's what I thought was happening.
Well,
But
and then there's a lot
I
of
hear you.
like, oh, I read this 4 is a 9, and
I can't disagree. I cannot disagree. Okay, some other people still in it to win it at number 25. OMG, it variance. Yeah. 435K. And David Moses, a guy that's played around the South here, is in at number 87 for 282,000. At 12 p.m. is the restart of day or the start of day 3 of event number 19, the 25K high roller, 8.1 million in the prize pool, 345 runners, 22 remain, 1.7 million at the top for the winner. Barack Wisbold has 5 million in chips and is our chip leader. Zachary Grench has 4.1 million. Some notables still in it to win it. Our favorite, Kristen Foxon, is at number 6 with 2.8 million. Jesse Loweness is an eighth with 2.7 million. Some others in it to win it. Number 14, Nick Schulman, Shannon Shore, and Brian Rast are all still in it to win it as well. At 1 p.m. day, event number 21, final day of the $1,500 PLO high, low, 8 or better tournament. And that has a prize pool of 1.4 million, 1,093 runners, 13 remain with 235,000 waiting for the winner in that prize pool. Frederick Normand is in first place with 3.9 million. Tobias Hausen has 3.9 million. Josh Arier has 3.3 million. And the underdog at number 13 is Get the Gun with 440,000. At 12 p.m., event number 24 is going to kick off day 1 just day 1, 25K high roller 6-handed tournament. At 2 p.m. is event number 22, day 1B, $1,500 Big O, 5-card PLO, high, low, 8 or better tournament kicks off day 1B. At 1 p.m., event number 23, day 2 is the 10K 7-card stud tournament. 900,000 in the prize pool, 97 remain out of 47. But I will remind you that registration is still open for that tournament. Kahari is in first place as far as chip stacks are concerned. You notice I didn't try the first name, but moving right along, that person, I believe it's a Mr. has 319,000. Leonard Carrillo has 292,000. And still in it to win it are some popular names like Patrick Leonard, Ellie Elizra, E-Tay, Kessler, Gus Hansen, Robert Mizuraki. One of our horses this summer, Bryce Yaki's still in it. Michael Mizuraki and Jen Harmon are all still in that to win it. So good luck to all of those folks. Winner from yesterday, event number 20, was the $1,500 dealer's choice, had 870,000 in the prize pool. 99 got paid with 161,000 at the top, which was taken down by Jeff Madston, his 5th bracelet. So congrats to him. Philip Wise took down second for 107,000. Also cashed in that tournament were TJ Reed for 3,000 and Chip Jet for 3,000 as well. So that takes a look at what is going on at the WSOP the last day yesterday and what's going on today. I'm going to go around and talk about the tournaments around town for a minute. Over at the Golden Nugget at 11 is their no limit tournament, $200 buy-in, 30K guarantee, which I'm happy to see the guarantees back at the Nugget. At 12 p.m. is their PLO tournament, $400 guarantee. I'm sorry, $400 buy-in, 20K guarantee. 1700 hours is their no limit tournament, $150 buy-in, 700, I'm sorry, $7,500 guarantee. At 1900 hours is their Turbo No Limit tournament, $130 buy-in, 5K guarantee. Over at South Point today at 1010 is their No Limit, $120 buy-in, 15K guarantee. At 210 is their '08 tournament, $200 buy-in, $15,000 guarantee. At 1,810 hours is their no limit bounty tournament. The bounties are $50. It's a $200 buy-in, 20K guarantee. And at 2,200 hours is their crazy pineapple tournament, $120 buy-in, 4K guarantee. Over at the Orleans is an 11 o'clock no limit tournament, $400 buy-in, 40K guarantee. At 12 o'clock is their TOE tournament, $600 buy-in, 50K guarantee. At 1600 hours is their triple draw tournament, $240 buy-in, 10K guarantee. And at 1800 hours at the Orleans is a no limit tournament, $200 buy-in, 15K guarantee. Over at the MGM today is their 11 o'clock no limit tournament, $400 buy-in, 40K guarantee. And at 1800 hours at the MGM is a $500 day 1A of their no limit tournament, 250K guarantee. Over at the Aria is 11 o'clock no limit tournament, $600 buy-in, $150,000 buy-in guarantee, excuse me. And at 1900 hours at the Aria is a $300 buy-in, $25,000 guarantee. I'll get to the next two in just a minute. Anybody want to bring up anything? D-Man, you got anything you'd like to discuss this morning?
Yeah, I was gonna let you know also about the game that's being rescheduled. We do have a vote in the Phase 7 chat for whether we're gonna have it Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. So there are some options there
Okay, is this going forward or just for this game?
for this
Tonight's
game,
game.
just for this
Okay.
game. Yeah,
Okay.
so a few options there, just to try and make it a little easier to get people together.
Perfect. Thank you for that update, D-Man. Appreciate you. For sure. Joey, anything you want to bring up or discuss? Oh, we may have lost him. Joey, you there,
Yeah,
buddy?
he's probably away from his mic or something.
Yeah, no worries. He's running furiously as we all have done in the past. All right, Isaac, go ahead with your spiel for the day.
My spiel for the day. Okay.
What are we
Well,
talking about?
tonight we're having the Web3 Kumite, where again
Yep.
we have brought together several communities and have a very, very healthy prize pool for tonight's event. For space information, just go ahead and check out Green Visor Gang profile, or follow me into the Discord. I think I have the Discord link in my bio. If not, I have to update that shit. But we are in space tonight. Here, give me one sec because I actually want to pull up the info really quick. But I got Discord up, I got X up, I got my
Okay, the space for that is at
Photoshop
8
up.
and the game starts at 9.
Thank you. Thank you. So there you
You're
go. So
welcome.
at 8 p.m. EST tonight, 5 p.m. West Coast, you can join us in space. We're just gonna be hanging out. It's not about like you're not gonna come and listen to a bunch of people try to show their projects or anything like that. We're literally just coming together, hang out, play some poker, distribute some prizes. So if that sounds like your vibe, pull up.
All right, now do you have some history for Vegas?
Yeah. Here, let me grab my notes for that. It's a good thing I have a double screen now, let me tell you.
I love it.
It has
I
helped.
couldn't handle it. Look, I'm bad enough with my computer and my phone working together and trying to research on one while I'm typing on the other or whatever. Last thing I need is another screen.
See, well, I thought that before too, but especially for the graphic work more than anything. It helps
Yeah, well,
so
you do
much
because you're
to have a
yeah,
bigger
yeah,
screen
yeah,
so I
yeah.
can really pull in on certain details. Because yeah, on my as is, I'm
For
trying.
those that don't know, he is an artist, so recognize, people recognize.
You're so sweet. No, no, but just yeah, zooming in is such a pain, and I'm on my mobile so much. That's been something I've been trying to do lately too. Is like not always be on my mobile. It's so impossible though, because if you're always on the move and you want to play poker the way we are, you gotta play in some
Yes.
wild spots. I gotta.
I'm gonna tell you, my neck hurts today because the last 2 days on my mobile, I've been traveling around on my mobile too much and my neck hurts today. I'm like, holy shit, it's from being on my mobile and bending over my neck, like
Yeah,
looking down.
yeah. Here, let me see. Let me find it here.
Okay, stupid.
No, I mean, it just it always goes how it goes. But all right, so here we go. Today's episode of the Neon Archive. We have the casino that defined mob era Las Vegas, Stardust. If the Sands made Vegas cool, the Stardust made Vegas powerful. For decades, no casino represented the glamour, greed, ambition, and danger of Las Vegas quite like the Stardust. And if you ever seen the movie Casino, you've already seen a version of this story. The Stardust opened in 1958 as the largest hotel in the world at the time. Its original vision came from a man named Tony Cornero. Cornero was a gambler, entrepreneur, bootlegger, and one of the most colorful figures in gambling history. His dream was simple: build the biggest, flashiest casino Las Vegas had ever seen. Unfortunately, Cornero died before the casino opened, collapsing at a craps table during a meeting connected to the project. Fucking legend. The Stardust would open months later and become one of the most famous casinos in the world. Um, Let me see. Where did I leave off? The atomic age, though. This is the part that really plays kind of special into this. The Stardust arrived at the perfect time. America was fascinated by science, space, and nuclear technology. The casino embraced the theme completely. Its massive neon sign became one of the most recognizable signs in Vegas history. The property marketed itself as futuristic. At one point, tourists would even watch atomic bomb tests from Las Vegas hotel rooftops. Imagine that. Like, really, for me personally, that's just, I've seen pictures from the era, right? And for you to be chilling in a casino and looking over a mountain,
Wait, what?
yes, and see mushroom clouds, okay? That
Are you kidding me right now? I've never heard this before. What in the hell's bells are we doing here?
Yeah, like it
Wow.
blows me away to even imagine seeing that and hearing that because I can't even imagine what an A bomb really sounds like, right? But to think that
Oh
they
my
were
God.
testing
I've
them,
never heard of it. That is
yeah, yeah, and growing up, I saw pictures here and there, right, where it would show someone in Vegas and you see a mushroom cloud on the back, and back then I think some Photoshop shit or something, but I've seen video, so I know it exists out there. There is video that shows,
dude.
yeah, it's not.
I think we've all seen those mushroom clouds. I don't think I'd ever imagine a million years that some of those could have been outside of Vegas, the strip. Holy smokes. Thank
Yeah, to think that was visible from Vegas, but again, the Nevada testing site I think is what, a couple hundred miles away or something like that. So, yeah, what a trip. Well, all right, so only in Vegas, right? Only in Vegas. Like people would wake up, grab breakfast, gamble a little, and then watch a nuclear explosion in the distance. Like, what the
and
fuck?
we think sitting in our hotel window watching the sphere is cool.
Yo, seriously. So, okay, now moving on. Enter Frank Lefty Rosenthal. If there is one person most associated with the Stardust, it's Frank Rosenthal. Rosenthal was a sports betting genius. He revolutionized sportsbook operations and transformed how casinos handled the betting. Under his leadership, the Stardust Sportsbook became one of the most respected betting operations in America. Many modern sportsbook practices trace back to innovations introduced during Rosenthal's era. Um, and with the good, right, the great balance as it always comes with the bad. Then enter Tony Spilatro. Every great Vegas story has another side, and Tony is definitely the other side of that. Spilatro was a feared mob figure connected to the Chicago outfit. While Rosenthal ran casino operations, Spilatro handled matters outside the casino. The relationship between the two men became one of the most famous partnerships in Vegas history. Their stories would pretty much inspire the characters in Casino. De Niro's character, Sam Ace Rothstein, was based largely on Rosenthal, and Pesci's Nicky Santoro was based largely on Spilatro. And I mean, people from the era who knew Spilatro, saw Casino, and saw Pesci's performance were a lot of them said that they left the theater feeling the fear they used to feel when Spilatro was around. So very interesting. Joe Pesci, great actor, right? So another big part of all of this is the skimming scandal, right? And this is where things get wild. For years, federal investigators believe millions of dollars were being secretly skimmed from the Stardust casino profits before the money was officially reported. The process was simple. Money would leave the casino before accounting records were completed. That cash allegedly found its way back to organized crime families. The Stardust became the centerpiece of one of the largest organized crime investigations in Vegas history. Eventually, federal prosecutors helped dismantle much of the mob's influence over Las Vegas casinos because of this investigation. Why poker players should care, right? The Stardust wasn't known primarily as a poker room. Its importance comes from what it represents. The Stardust sits at the crossroads between mob Vegas, corporate Vegas, modern Vegas. The casino helped build the gambling culture that eventually allowed poker to explode nationally. Without the Stardust era, there may never have been the Vegas that welcomed the poker boom decades later. Now, like again, all good things do come to an end. And by the 90s and the early 2000s, Las Vegas was changing dramatically. Public companies replaced the mob influence, mega resorts replaced classic casinos. The Stardust struggled to compete against all of these newer properties and newer, huger corporate bankrolls. So in 2006, after nearly 50 years on the strip, the Stardust closed its doors. In 2007, the famous building was imploded, and an era just disappeared overnight. And I got to tell y'all, little tie to me, my first time as a young adult in Vegas was in 2006. And luckily, the Stardust was still open, and we got to go and eat at the Coco Palms buffet and gamble a little bit. And it was a vibe. It really was. Seeing that sign, walking those floors, and funny enough, a lot of the parts of casino, the actual casino parts were filmed in the Stardust. So like, when Sam's walking down the staircase and whatnot, all of that, like, we got to do that, and that was the dopest shit ever. But it was such a tragedy because, like I was saying, the Stardust is sign to this day. If you go to the Neon Museum, it's there, right? But to see these signs on the strip, and when you look at how huge and gaudy the signs used to be and all of that and all the lights, it's just not there the way it was. And that's why I love Fremont Street still, because you can go to Fremont and you can get that old feel that you just
I agree.
right? You just don't get it anymore.
I agree.
So I will say one of the things that did stand out to me while I was putting my information together was that the Stardust was once the largest hotel in the world. That's kind of mind blowing, right? And it's
It is mind
yeah,
blowing.
its
It's
line
crazy.
stretched nearly 200 feet across the property. That's massive.
200 feet.
Yeah, yeah,
That is ginormous.
yeah. That was like wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of
Wow.
historians, a lot of stories and everything that have come out. A lot of people kind of put the Stardust as like the symbol, right? Like kind of like when the pyramid opened, right? And the Luxor just opened, and when the light used to go up into the darkness at night, and you could
Right.
see that light from like 150 miles away, right? That was the
Right.
Stardust before that. Those lights shone extra bright because of the Stardust. But yeah, man, old Vegas, we love it. We love it.
Well,
You know?
ladies and gentlemen, That was Inside the Neon with Isaac.
And the next one,
Thank you,
y'all, the
my
next one,
friend.
just so y'all know, the next one is going to be the Desert Inn, and for good reason.
Nice. Nice. I still can't get over that they could watch ABOT testing from outside from their window.
Yeah,
This is
listen,
insane, dude.
there's a picture that I saw within a decade or so ago where it was outside the sands, and they're taking a picture of family, and in the distance you see a mushroom cloud. Talk about a family photo,
That's a
right? Talk about a family
oh
photo.
my God, that's incredible. Like I've never heard that before. So thank you for sharing some history for all of us, and hopefully y'all learned something like I did today. I never knew that. Never knew it, but it makes sense, in the desert test and stuff, right? Makes
Oh
sense.
yeah,
I just didn't think about it being outside of Vegas. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't.
yep.
All right, you guys. Oh, go ahead. Did you have something?
No, 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 not at all. Just yeah, I
Okay.
completely agree.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to talk about two things you can do in Vegas. One of them is Slot Car City. You can rent a slot car. And for what, some of you guys are maybe too young to remember these, but my brother used to race slot cars. As a matter of fact, my son still has my brother's slot car that he raced. My brother's what, 78 years old, and he raced slot cars when he was probably 12, 14 years old. And my son still has his slot car that he used to race. But anyway, a slot car is like a racetrack that kids drive um, with handheld controls. Their little race car around the track. And the bottom of the car has an electronic thing that comes out of the bottom that goes into the slot of the racetrack. So you place the car on the track, and that little thing coming out of the car goes into the slot of the lane of the racetrack. I hope that shit makes sense. But anyway, you can rent a slot car for $6 for 15 minutes and $10 for 30 minutes. There are also beginner evenings and and races for large prizes. So that's kind of fun if you just want to do something different and out of the ordinary. It's called Slot Car City. It's on Decatur Boulevard in Las Vegas, Slot Car City. Another thing is the Hollywood Car Museum and Liberace's Garage. That's on Dean Martin Boulevard. I did try to click the link, but the link was bad. So definitely double check the information on anything I give you, but this in particular. The main part of the museum's collection, which is spread across two rooms, features famous cars and other vehicles from film and television shows, as well as extremely unusual custom builds. Some of the cars, such as one of the Batmobiles from Batman Returns, the cars from the Fast and the Furious franchise, and The Hangover, were actually used in the films, are in this museum. Others, such as from Starsky and Hutch, the A Team, the Dukes of Hazzard, they were stunt vehicles, while other cars, such as the 1966 Batmobile, the DeLorean from the Back to the Future, and the car from Knight Rider, are simply very good replicas. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to tell which cars were actually used in the movies, although at least Toe Maida and Doc Hudson from the cars can clearly be identified as replicas and not original vehicles from the film series. So that would be kind of a fun place to go. And that is Hollywood Car Museum and Liberace's Garage. Anybody ever been to those? I have not been to either.
I haven't either. I
Anybody?
just remember that the thing that used to travel around a lot was the Bonnie and Clyde car. I remember it used to be at the state line at Prim for a while,
Oh,
and it
okay.
moved somewhere else. Where else have I seen it? It's in another casino now. Trying to remember where. But that's about the only one of those cars. But that's cool. You said the car from the Hangover is there. Fuck yeah,
Right?
that's cool. That's pretty damn cool.
Hell yeah. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about. as a possibility of where to stay when you go to Vegas. It's very costly, so you got to have deep pockets for this. But I did think it would be kind of fun to talk about. But you can actually rent a houseboat at Lake Mead. And I was like, man, if you had like a big, like 10 or 12 people, of course, it brings the price back into doable. I don't know if the houseboat holds that many for sleeping or not, but to give you an idea as far as pricing is concerned, and these are all on Calville Bay and Lake Mead. So they have 50-foot boats, 50 so a 50-foot Alpha XT, a 50-foot Cyrus, a 59 Deluxe, a 60-foot Eagle, a 70-foot Titanium, and 70-foot Extreme are the different types of houseboats, okay? Or for you to choose from. So I'm going to give you like the lowest price and the highest price. So you can just have something to, judge between all of that. So 2 nights, and this is during season dates of January 26th through May of 26. I'm just giving you this so you can gauge the prices. Okay. I know it's out of date. So, 50-foot Alpha would be $1,341 for 2 nights. It says 2 nights, $1,341. I'm assuming that's for the 2 nights, right? Not per night. It doesn't say if it's per night. But the 75-foot extreme is 2,692. I'm sorry, yeah, $2,692. So that's 2 nights. 3 nights, it's $20,012 and $4,038. 4 nights is 2,682 and 5,384. 5 nights is 3,353 and 6,730. 6 nights is 4,023 and $8,076. So, just to give you a little idea that there is somewhere else you could stay on a houseboat on Lake Mead, and it is costly, but if you have enough people, it may not be that much, right? What do you think of that idea, ASG?
Yeah, fun. I just remember touring the Grand Canyon one year, and this was like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And we're driving by, as a New Yorker, we're just all laughing when we drive by Lake Mead and they go, some of these properties go for up to $1 million. And we're like, wow.
I love it. What do you think, Isaac? Would you ever stay on a houseboat on Lake Mead?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would. Lake Mead's fascinating. Every year we always say, oh, we're gonna get a pontoon and go out there, but that salt line bothers me. Always has.
I'm going to tell you though, I'm thinking the Green Visor gang renting a houseboat for like, I don't know how many people it sleeps, but the max I think is something that should be looked at.
Yeah, definitely. And something that tripped me out too. I had not visited that area, or I had not gone close to Hoover Dam for many years, right? And
Right.
a year before, I did it with the family, and it tripped me out how much Boulder has grown.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Like that blew me away. Like I was like, what
Yeah,
the fuck? Like, yeah, not bad. I
I
mean,
agree.
honestly, like if living in Vegas feels a little unattainable, right? Because now, like, pretty much Vegas has kind of become, it's not as affordable as it was because of all the
Right.
transplants and all the new people in there. Boulder's not a bad option, high key. It's not that far from Vegas. So,
Right.
yeah,
And you kind of get the best of both worlds.
you really do. And I mean, some of the places I saw heading towards Hoover Dam, I was like, damn, that's impressive. Like, there were some very nice looking properties.
And there's a
So,
lot out there now. Like you said, there is a lot out there.
oh yeah, it's not some little like before it looked like some dusty shit off the road. It
Right.
reminded me of Baker forever, right?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Definitely not like that
Yeah.
anymore. Definitely not
Yep.
like that anymore.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, you guys, I want to make mention of a couple more things before we get out of here and enjoy the rest of our Saturdays. First of all, E-Tay is giving away 5 seats. Let me say that again, 5 seats to the ladies event. That's a $1,000 WSOP ladies event. So definitely check out her Twitter account. It's at E_Tay, T-A-Y, at _TAY. And she has a link there for you to click on, and you just fill out a form. And part of that form, it's very short. It asks on the form why you think you deserve that free seat. So, Karen, get on there and fill it out. I am not going to fill it out, but I recommend people do. Of course, it's a great opportunity for women. She's given away 5 seats, and I think she's just going to read what everybody submits and choose 5. I don't know how her selection process is going to go. I have reached out to her to see if she wants to stop by this week and give us a firsthand blow by blow. So that's E-Tay's giving away 5 seats, and that is at E_TAY is her Twitter account. So definitely, if you have women in your life that play poker, send them in that direction. I see that Joey and Tracy had to leave us. I'm sorry we got so busy chatting that I didn't get to say goodbye to both of them, but they are playing, and so good luck to both of them. I found on my feed this morning a tweet that somebody put out that they were eating one of the spicy berry pies that Penelope's Pit Stop Catering, say that 20 times, is delivering to the WSOP. Now, I did go onto their Twitter account and clicked on their link, and it was broken. So I can't tell you what's on their menu. I really can't tell you much about it other than they are delivering to the WSOP. And their phone number, dun, 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 hope you got a pencil, 702-257-7383. Again, that's 702-257-7383. And that's Penelope's Pit Stop Catering. I don't know what they offer. I can't tell you anything other than the guy was really happily eating his little spicy berry pie. So if anybody finds out anything about it or has used that catering service, let me know so we can get some more information about that. I make no guarantees about it because I don't even know anything about it other than I saw that tweet this morning. So there you go, folks. Do with that information as you see fit. We got in our chat this morning, Maureen. I love when people send, ASG, Isaac, whoever, Karen, whoever sends me stuff in the chats about, things that we could discuss. And one of the things that Maureen sent in the chat this morning was that Christian Trend from the UK, who is a well-being coach, decided to use some Cambo. And for those of you that don't know what Cambo is, that is the frog poison. The frog poison. I'm not laughing at the poor man. He passed away from using it, but I'm laughing about it because we know it here in the poker world because there are some, known players that were promoting the use of that frog poison. So please don't use it, people. Please don't use it. Somebody has died from it. This was the first Brit that's died from using it. Please don't use it. I'm just telling you, don't
Uh,
use it. Don't. Go ahead, Isaac.
quick question: the person took it in the jungles of South America, or took it in Britain?
Okay, I'm just going to tell you something. I cruised through the article because I was minutes away from going live, so I
Mm.
really don't know.
Send
I
it to
don't
me.
know.
I'm interested in just
It's in
finding
the.
out more.
It's in our group chat.
Awesome. I'll definitely check
In the
it out.
group chat.
Thank you.
Yeah. So please, people, like, come on, no frog poison, please. I don't want to hear. I don't want to see an obituary for you that death by frog poison. Come on. There's other ways to treat whatever is ailing you. I promise there are. Um, we just got to be careful. Just got to be careful. All right, I do want to talk about what's going on at the Venetian today at 10:10 a.m. is their day 1A of their no limit tournament. $1,100 buy-in, $1 million guarantee. And at 1 o'clock is day 2 of uh no limit tournament. I'm assuming it's not the same. I'm assuming it's a 2 different tournaments. A day 1A of one tournament and a day 2 of another tournament. That's at 10:10 and 1 o'clock today, respectfully. At 6:10 p.m. tonight is a bounty tournament, no limit, $200 bounties, $600 buy-in, 40K guarantee. That's over at the Venetian. Over at the Wynn is a 12 o'clock no limit tournament, $1,100 buy-in, $200,000 guarantee. And at 1800 hours is their turbo no limit tournament. It is an $1,100 buy-in, of course, $100,000 guarantee. That's what's going on at the Wynn. Wow, lots of good tournaments. I'm almost jealous I'm not there yet. I want to tell everybody that I messaged Dibs and he's going to do an interview on Wednesday. We're going to find out all about his Edge app and what it can do for us. And I appreciate that, Dibs. It'll be fun to get that interview done on Wednesday. Go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, so before we leave, I just want to talk about the lack of mixed game coverage on the YouTube streams. Poker Go, I'll at least give them, maybe it was only for the main, I'm trying to remember, but like you could, if you wanted to watch mixed games without, even if that wasn't like the mainstream or it didn't have the main feature commentary. And this year they took away, as we said, they like just ended stream before the Deuce to Seven final table ended, and then I saw Platt respond to somebody that they're gonna. It really seems like their only plan is to for mixed games is PLO and some coverage of the 50K PPC. Because it doesn't sound like and that it'll take like Sean Deeb and Phil Hungmuth at a table for them to show any final table outside of that.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm getting the feel for. And as you guys know, I've been a little bit busy the last 2 weeks. So I am paying attention to tweets, but I'm not really diving into a lot of things. I am diving into some things, but some things I'm not. And this one is one of those topics that I'm just barely like scratching the surface of this topic. But the feeling I'm getting is that we kind of had pipe dreams as to how much we were going to do as far as coverage was concerned. And then once we got everything into place and we started to do what, coverage and what we thought we were going to do, we kind of said, whoa, this is too much. We don't, we're exhausted. There's not enough hours in our day to do all the things that we thought we were going to be able to do and cover everything that we were going to be able to cover. And part of me having that sense or that feeling is that the other night they were supposed to cover the Deuce to Seven tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were supposed to cover that tournament, and was it Vitch was
Yeah, Chris
supposed to
Fitch.
go into the booth. Right. So he went over to the booth because he was supposed to cover it and be the commentator for it. And then they decided not to cover it or stop the coverage. I don't remember which. And he was quite upset because he, had his plans made and those plans were to be in the booth when maybe he could have been playing another tournament or going out to dinner with friends or whatever. He scheduled it and then went over or whatever, find out last minute is they're not going to do the coverage. And so and other people have complained too, what about this? Aren't you covering this? And, can you cover this? And honestly, I just feel like best laid plans ended up getting changed. So go ahead, ASG.
Yeah. They said they were covering all three final tables in that case, and then they ended up barely covering one of them. And then when the final table for the was it the 10K or the 25K, whatever the no limit was, finished, they just ended stream basically.
Yeah, and it had a lot of people upset because they were like, "Wait, you said you were gonna, right?" And there were definitely tweets flying because people had their schedule set that they wanted to watch it and be a part of it in this Vitch's case. But go ahead, Isaac.
I will say that you can tell that when Poker Go was in charge of stuff, they were making more strides in opening up mixed game coverage, and I do feel like there was a pullback so far. But I mean, could it be also because again, it's not the same people handling the streaming one, and maybe the prioritization has changed because the final table of the main is going to be on ESPN. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's all of the above. Because Poker Go is a well-oiled machine. They've been doing it a few years. They have it figured out. And now, like you said, you have new people doing it, even though there's still Poker Go's a little bit involved, but you still have people with their new ideas, a new way of doing it, a new set. Let's not forget the set wasn't even ready by the first day of the WSOP. It was ready by like the fifth day of the WSOP. And so I think there's a lot of the moving parts that, they're just like flying by the seat of their pants. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean it in a timing way, that they are just trying to adapt as they go and figure it out as they go because it's all new to them. And you also have a new staff, not only, a new owners, but new staff as well in place. And so feel like we have to cut them a lot of slack, but at the same token, um, we want to see coverage. So go ahead,
Yeah,
anybody.
they also said, and I'm still trying to get the full details for the 10K. I think that was yesterday, or that they had the players come back after playing till like 2 a.m. or whatever. Come back at 1, then play 40 minutes until there was a final table, and then they had a 2-hour break before coming
Yeah.
back for the final table, so that could be streamed at whatever schedule they were at. So yeah, that's even affecting the players who are playing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of moving parts to that, right? Because we want to see it live, but we still got to give their players their hour dinner break, right? Or, yeah, and so what do you do with that hour? You can't set up a whole nother thing. Maybe that side table or that third table, live table can be, now being, fed on the live feed table. I mean, it's a lot. That's a lot. And let alone the staff that is behind the cameras for that table that's going on dinner break. Don't they deserve a dinner break too? So maybe they're getting their dinner break at the same time. I think there's a lot that we are not privy to.
Yeah, this wasn't even about the dinner break though. This was about like a delay to go to final table because they wanted to stream the final table. So
Oh,
they
oh,
played
oh.
for literally only 40 minutes, and then and then they had to break for 2 hours because that's when the final table was going to start.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you the first time. Yeah, yeah. And again, that's scheduling. And again, if we want live, that's what it takes. You got to get, yeah, you got to get everything in place and everybody ready. You know, and guess what? This may prove as to why they don't want to do a lot of stuff live. They may say in the future, you know what? We're better off doing it on a 24-hour delay than we are to do it live. Or we just leave it live and whatever's happening, if it's 6 hours of coverage live, then that's it. It's 6 hours versus let's wait until, you know, final table. Maybe it needs to be the final 2 tables, the final 3 tables. Hell, I don't know. We just want to see poker
Yeah, or they
live.
could have
Yeah, that's
done
the,
kind
that's
of
the
what
truth of it
they
for
did
sure.
last year, where you know, if the final table ends up ending before they go back to stream, so be it. But the point is, you start the stream whenever you can start, and then you can use the fact that you're on such a long delay to say, okay, they might be on break, but we're fast forwarding through the break, and now we're less delayed than we were
Right.
before.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I will say just real quick about all of that. I think last year was some of the best like coverage ideas they had. I really liked how last year one of the big events then, and then they had gone to, for example, on one of them they went to that one super long table where Chino Reem was like pretty much the leader, and then by the end of the night the other guy had taken all of his chips and they went to that stream for a while. Like they were really smart about jumping from this one to that one
Well,
to this one to that one. I think they had really
I
perfected
totally
that
agree.
last year. I think they perfected it last year.
I totally agree. And again, Poker Go is doing it, right? So
Yep.
they kind of had it figured out. And don't forget, last year, they also put out a full schedule. So they had things scheduled for the live feed table. And we had that schedule, I'm pretty sure, before the WSOP started or the first week it started. There was an actual schedule. And they may not have been able to do that this year because, again, it's a new setup, new people, and they're just not to that point yet. But you're right. Coverage last year was good.
It really was. It really was. And I will say this, what I'm hoping is that this year maybe they figure, you know what? We should probably go and renew this partnership with Poker Go. But I don't know if the new people that are doing the streaming now, if there's like a long contract or how that works. So who knows? But it was really good last year. I have not seen enough of this year's series to know or to judge myself for this year. But yeah, I really liked last year.
Well, I'm going to tell you one adjustment we need. We're going to need to be able to have a camera shot of the dealer, the burn cards, and the muck cards all in one shot for further reviews.
Seriously though.
and a le- oh gosh, I joke, but I have to give people credit as well because those folks are working hard on our behalf. And yeah, we may bitch and moan about stuff as we watch this summer unfold, but overall, it's going to be spectacular when these 53 days are over with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Indeed.
All right. Yeah. All right, you guys, we're going to end it. I'm going to go around the horn in case you guys have anything else you'd like to bring up or comment about. D Man, one of the hardest working men in GVG. What you got? Any other comments or questions, my
Not really.
friend?
Have a good day, everybody. One of my rare appearances up here on stage. Get you later.
Well, you should do it more often, sir. You're always
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you and your efforts for sure. ASG, how about you? Any other comments, questions,
Yeah, we
topics?
had HCL on their first stream apparently had an issue with somebody bringing in cash.
Yes. Yes. Which, if you think about what Isaac talked to us about the Stardust and money laundering with the mob, have we progressed at all? I mean, now it's the drug money, hopefully not, but you know what I'm saying. Now they're worried about money laundering still. How many years later? Go ahead, tell the story, ASG.
Yeah, so we had the issue with Moreno earlier not being able to get all of his cash over to the WSOP, which he had from the Aria from tournament play.
Crazy.
And then, but once again, he had cash instead of like a wire or a bank check or something like that. So this time, in a similar fashion, Brittany from HCL also, instead of wiring, or I guess maybe part of it was wired, but by the end, she was buying in her large buy-ins with cash, and that was running into that eventually ran into an issue with the compliance people at the casino, and they basically said they're not going to allow her to do whatever her rebuy was with the cash anymore because they want to make sure they're in compliance with the anti-money laundering rules and regulations of the Vegas casinos, so she was not allowed to rebuy into the $1 million game, or whatever game that they were playing. Sorry, no, I don't think it was $1 million game, but it was a high stakes game.
Oh,
Right, which is the HCL is broadcasting from Las Vegas for the next few weekends. And, for me, it just makes me angry that we can't do something with cash. What the fuck? Like, this is American currency and we can't buy in with cash. I understand what they're going after, but you're also penalizing good citizens that are doing the right thing that just want to buy in with some cash. You're penalizing them because of criminals. Like, and you're almost, to me, you have to feel like, man, they're making me sound like I'm a criminal and I'm just trying to buy in for cash. I mean, what a terrible look, honest to God. I would be pissed if that happened to me. Go ahead, Isaac.
I mean, my thing is like, okay, Brittany plays HCL. Brittany plays. Does she play Triton? I know her and Sean Liu are always
No,
traveling around
no,
together, so I don't know if she plays that yet. But I mean,
no.
yeah, she's a crazy high roller. I was actually I had seen some article that I think was mentioning what ASG just said, and I was about to read it. So that's crazy that you can't
Well,
It's
bring in
insane.
cash to buy into a fucking like what? Where we? I don't know.
It's
I
yeah,
insane.
don't know.
for a very long. I mean, so there was a period of time, I want to say for a year, that Nick Airball was not playing on HCL, and many people speculated. I'm not sure if it was officially confirmed that his suspension had to do with the fact that he was selling people chips, especially on stream, and that was affecting their compliance regulations with Know Your Customer. And that's what got him in trouble to not be able to be on those HCL streams.
Okay, hold on though. Hold
Oh,
on though.
yeah,
You
yeah.
mentioned
So
KYC. Hold on, you mentioned KYC. So
Know
the
Your Customer,
issue,
yes.
yeah. So it's a KYC issue at the heart of it.
Basically,
yes.
yeah, anti-money laundering, KYC, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they haven't KYC, that is a whole other beast in its own. Because I mean, that just, I mean, that's something we can't avoid anymore in the world. KYC has, it's basically there to stave off huge cash things happening. I mean, in crypto, this is a common problem for us. Is the whole KYC thing. This is why a lot of people don't go on certain exchanges anymore because
I can understand all that electronically. I understand. I get it. I get it. But if I walk in with cash somewhere, you better be taking my cash. And I don't have to prove to you where my cash is coming from. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I hear that. I mean that's that's the rights that I feel like we used to have that we've lost because a lot of this stuff.
Well, it's
I'm
like,
not
Crazy.
a fan of KYC myself,
yeah.
honestly, because like for example, if you don't if doxing bothers you, right? Then KYC should bother you because in a way it's you have to dox yourself,
Exactly.
you know? And
It's nobody's business where my money comes from. And guess what? If you think I'm a drug runner, then fucking investigate me, tail me, bug my house. I don't care. Not bug my house, but fucking catch me at doing it.
you stopped to bug
Like,
my
fuck
house.
off. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want no part
Do
of
They
your
that.
job and catch me at it.
they
Yeah.
just don't want the yeah, similar to the Stardust issue, they don't want the casino to be a front where basically you put a large amount of cash in, do whatever, and then withdraw. Now you have the clean money. Yeah.
Well, of course, we understand money laundering at the casino. It's gone on for decades. But again, if I'm doing that, okay, so you can look at it another way. Okay, say I go into the casino for the next year with large amounts of money. That should be the tip off to somebody to start investigating me. Like you're also cutting off your nose to despite your face because you could use that information because the casino, you make the casino report it. Now, guess what? You have a list of two probably at a casino that could be possibilities of money laundering, through illegal whatevers. So now you start investigating those two. Why should everybody else have to pay the price for those fucking two people not doing the right thing? Like it's ridiculous. This is stupid as hell. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. Pissed. All right, around the horn. Anything else, ASG,
Trying to remember what else we
on that
discussed
topic or anything else?
in the message thing. Because yeah, I didn't even see
Well,
the frog poison thing, so I'm trying to see what else might have come up.
Yeah, I was looking
well,
for
we can
that
bring it
too.
up tomorrow.
Yo, I was looking for that too. Funny you say that. That's how I found some other article. Hey, by the
Did you
way,
find it?
no.
It's from Maureen. Just look under hers. It's
Yeah,
she's
I'm
the
not
one that
seeing
sent
it.
it. So
I will
But
say this though.
oh
I will say this though. That one hand between DePaulo and England. Whoa, that was pretty cool.
oh yeah, I thought it's funny that I mean, not related to that. Well, kind of related to what we were talking about before. Yeah, with you just mentioned the hand with the Apollo in England. If you're gonna have, if you're gonna privatize your stream and this and that, that's kind of weird. You then have WPT clip from the stream. Whatever. I don't understand what's going.
well, again, I think they're finding their way through it. Like they're, you know what I mean? Like they're now they may have said, hey, maybe we shouldn't put that up so that we could just do clips and then promote it through the clips and
Yeah,
keep,
I always think it's funny when you
promoting it
show
through the
on the
clips.
trailer the best part of the movie. I don't know.
Well,
Well,
and I
I
don't
agree with that.
disagree, but see,
I agree with that.
none of us were none of us saw it, so we wouldn't know that's the best highlight of the thing.
Okay. Oh, that was the thing, Kessler. Because I mean, Kessler brought it up, but it's been done in other events where they look at the structure and then they're saying they should change the blinds or change the antes, and then occasionally, depending on what the issue is, you see Negreanu come, yeah, we fixed it. And you know, these structures have been available for how long? Few months,
A long time,
let's say. I don't know. Let's say a
right?
couple months.
But
You know, people have decided what they're going to play based on these structures. So now all of a sudden you're gonna change the structure last
right,
minute without any, you know, without with people, you know, now deciding what to play, not play
complaining.
based on these structures, or let's say they liked it the way it was the previous way and they don't have a way to now provide their input. Like, yeah, just
Well, and I agree with you. I'm all about whatever you advertise, your ass better be doing. And I'm all about that. But in this case, you also have to think, are the changes better for the player? If they are, then maybe it's good to go ahead and change it if it's better for the player.
but which player are they
If it
better
were
for?
better for, well, but if it's better for the operator, then definitely not change it. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general, if it makes a big difference and is way better for the player's experience, then I'm out like, okay, let's not get into the habit of making these changes at the last minute because, like you said, people look at that stuff, they plan their, stay accordingly, and now you've changed it. It may turn them off. They may want to do something else, and now they can't change their plans. So yeah, you got to try to stick to your original. Whatever you advertise, like Golden Nugget. Last year they advertised guarantees. By golly, they should have made sure those guarantees took place. Um, you know,
Yeah.
so that's kind of
Yeah.
how I am with
Yeah,
that.
in my opinion, though, when you're talking about blind structures, it's not, you know, probably it's not related to better for the operator. So when it comes to is the player for the better for the player, it likely is coming down to one way is better for the pro, one way is better for the rec. I mean, in terms of like how turbo the structure might be or how deep whatever something is in terms of adding that level or changing that level, it affects how deep or shallow or whatever. Like most likely, in my opinion, it affects. You know, it's a pro versus rec situation, and who knows which way it's helping or hurting things when you change the structure in that fashion.
Right. And for me, it's just more of a general statement that whatever you advertise, you should be doing. However, if it's better for the customer, then it's lesser of a fraction, I guess, a negative. And we all know Alan's not going to look at that until he, is knee deep and ready to play it. Like if he's not playing it, will he talk about it? I don't know. Probably, but you know. Okay. I have to let Maureen off the hook, although I did throw her under the bus. Actually, she sent that to me in a private DM, but I forwarded it into the group DMs, you guys, that story about the frog poison. So I'm sorry. I thought it was in the group chat. Sorry about that. My bad for sure. But it's in there now because I forwarded it. So you can read all about that death by frog poison. God rest that man's soul. All right, you guys. I need to get out the door. My daughter's intense team is playing today. The Sting is playing at 5 o'clock at the Assembly Soundstage. And it's a good drive away. So I definitely need to get out the door. So, Isaac, any last thoughts or comments or whatever?
No. Everyone have a good one. Catch y'all tomorrow. Much love.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for listening today and joining us. And those that listen in the future, I appreciate you and thank you as well. And if you know what I'm about to say. If not, you can go back and listen to the recording and you'll hear why I'm going to say what I'm going to say now. As the white Oprah of the poker community, I bid you adieu. But you get a chip, and 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 you get a chip.